For the one you love, peace and light from below to above. 8 nights, celebrate till I fly in the sky like a dove. Let me unwind as I light up a flame in the name of the Lion of Judah. Drop like a hammer when I fall like the rain. Sun shower, feel a power when I hit like a train. Happy Hanukkah, I wanna give a gift to you. Light up the night, my love shine through. From Mount Zion, this is what we do. Bring love to you. Happy Hanukkah, I wanna give a gift to you. Light up the night, my love shine through. From Mount Zion, this is what we do. Bring love to you. Shooting into the cosmos, flows intact. When I ride too excited, now I'm fighting back. Into time with the divine, there's a battle through the spine. It's a battle from the ancient line. Son of King David, Maccabee till the end of time. You're my light in this hardest time. Yes, you bring peace to my mind. Won't you please let me unwind as I light up a flame in the name of the Lion of Judah. Drop like a hammer when I fall like the rain. Sun shower, feel a power when I hit like a train. Happy Hanukkah, I wanna give a gift to you. Light up the night, my love shine through. From Mount Zion, this is what we do. Bring love to you. Happy Hanukkah, I wanna give a gift to you. Light up the night, my love shine through. From Mount Zion, this is what we do. Bring love to you. Celebration, get your hands up high. Get your hands up high. Celebration, get your hands up high. Get your hands up high. Celebration, Happy Hanukkah, I wanna give a gift to you. Light up the night, my love shine through. From Mount Zion, this is what we do. Bring love to you. Happy Hanukkah, I wanna give a gift to you. Light up the night, my love shine through. From Mount Zion, this is what we do. Bring love to you. Celebration, get your hands up high. Get your hands up high. Celebration, get your hands up high. Get your hands up high. Celebration, celebration, celebration.
Uri, 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 Shir Dabeiri, Kivoid Hashem Alayich, Alayich Niglam. Your time has come, the day's begun. Uri, 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 Shir Dabeiri, Hisoiriri, rise up, rise up, oh, rise up, rise up, oh, give up oire, kumi oiri, oh, rise up, Hisoiriri, rise up, oh, rise up, oh, give up oire, kumi oiri, oh, rise up, Hisoiriri. Uri, 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 Shir Dabeiri, Kivoid Hashem Alayich, Alayich Niglam. Your time has come, the day's begun. Uri, 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 Shir Dabeiri, Hisoiriri, rise up, oh, rise up, oh, Kiva oire, kumi oiri, oh, rise up, Whenever we down, he can lift us up. Ain't a difficulty, too difficult for us. If only we would trust and keep our heads up. The sky we can touch, yeah. But I feel like I'm already gone. Been living the weight on my own. I feel like I lost my way home. I'm feeling so out of my zone, yeah. And when it's dark out, I can't see, yeah. So can you make a light for me? It's hard. From Egypt to Babylon, the Holocaust. Inquisition would pivot us to the pogroms, yeah. From the Greeks and now in Rome, yeah. But we fight back to light that fire. They got a problem cause this neshama won't expire. We moving on. We show the whole entire world no fear in us. And so we make a flame for this miracle. So we make it 8 days, 8 days. We call it 8 flames, 8 flames. We light a flame for this miracle. We light a flame for this miracle. So we make it 8 days, 8 days. We call it 8 flames, 8 flames. And we light a flame for this miracle. We light a flame for this miracle. I'm standing up, but I can't hold myself. I know I need the help of someone else. I am my brother's keeper. I can use my hand to be my brother's keeper. We gon' fly away. Not in a million years. Get 6 million tears. Be ignored still. These are arms of steel. King David's shield. Operation Moses. Ethiopian Trojan. He gave the mighty to the weak, the many to the few. In a minute it was through. Even in the dark we light it through. And now I give my light to you. But we fight back to light that fire. They got a problem cause this neshama won't expire.
I don't know if it was a clockwise or counterclockwise is more Jewish, I'm not sure. But it has
Shabbat Shalom. Let's try that again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here with you, and whether you're here in person or whether you're out there in Facebook or YouTube land, it's nice to be with you. We're going to begin with a song in just a moment, and then we are going to light our Hanukkiyot. So those in the sanctuary, you'll be invited up to do that, and just so that those of you at home who want to light it along with us, so that you can be ready to do that in a couple of minutes as well. So, Cantor Paul.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so great to see all of you here in person, and of course, all in the cyber show world. We're going to start off with a little dreidel song. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. This is a little bit of a more, let's say, upbeat version, although it's got the same words as the downbeat version, and it goes something like this. Not getting any guitar out of my amp. That's better. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh my dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Y'all know the words? It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin. When it gets all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, my dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Clap your hands. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. Well, I've been stuck inside this house with all the dreidel blues. But when I get to TBI, you know I cannot lose. Oh, my dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, Oh, dreidel I shall play. Well, my dreidel's always playful. It loves to dance and spin. When it gets all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. Here's another one. You know, this one's on the song sheet. I know we have some linguists here, so we'll get a chance to do a couple of different versions of it. Randy, we're in C minor, yeah? D minor. Oh, he's making me sing high. Oh, Hanukkah, Hanukkah, come like the menorah. Let's have a party with all and the hurrah. And around the table, we'll give you a treat. Cradles to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Little Yiddish. Ay Chanukah, Yonzim, Sheiner, a lustiger, a freiliger, Kodach, a Zoine, alle Nacht in Dreidel, spielen wir. Zu den Kessellatkes, es sind wir Geschwinder, sind Kinder, wir Chanukah, Lichterle kommen. Lo mer alle singen, lo mer alle springen und lo mer all tanzen in Korn. Lo mer alle singen, lo mer alle springen, lo mer alle tanzen in Korn. En Hebreo. Yemei Chanukah, Chanukah Mikdashenu, Zilu Simcha, Mimalim et Libreinu, Laila Vayom, Svivoveinu Yesod, Suf Ganiyot, Nafal Gam Larot, Ha'iru, Tadliku, Nerot Chanukah Rabim, Al Nisim ve'al Niflaot, ve'al Alalu HaMaccabim. Al Hanisim ve'al Niflaot, Asher Alalu HaMaccabim. One more time in English. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Cradles to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Oh, Hanukkah. Oy, Hanukkah. So we are going to invite folks to come forward. I will ask that we not crowd around the table. So we'll give enough time, let people come up and move away from the table, and then you can come up and move away from the table. What we're going to do is I'm going to light the primary shamash first, this candle first. We're all going to join in the blessing, and then we'll sing some songs while people come up and light their Chanukiot. Okay? Anybody who wants to also can take their Chanukiah and move it over here. We're going to be have unbalanced light. in our sanctuary. So you're welcome if there's not a lot of space just to take it over here and light it over here. That would be fine too. So we will start. The blessings are in the book on 279. If you want to follow along in your prayer book.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu Vayamim ahem bazman hazeh.
Feel free to begin to come up. Light your Hanukkah.
And while we're lighting, I'll continue to sing some songs. If you know them, please feel free to join in. Oh, I am so mixed up that I cannot tell you. I'm sitting in this batter turning brown, in the blender actually. I made friends with the onions and the flour, and the cook is scouting out oil in the town. I sit here wondering what will come of me. Dina, if you wouldn't mind turning down some of our hot lights. Shall I be eating looking as I do? I need someone to take me out and cook me, or else I'll really end up in a royal stew. Anybody out there know what I am? A latke. I am a latke. I'm a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I'm a latke. I'm a latke, and I'm waiting for Hanukkah to come. Every holiday has foods that are so special. I'd like to have that same attention too. I do not want to spend my whole life in a blender, would you? Wondering what it is that I'm supposed to do. Okay, here's the educational portion of our challah and chopped liver for Shabbat. Blintzes on that holiday where we eat dairy because the Torah is like mother's milk to us. And the name of that holiday is Shavuot. Oh, they're delicious. And gefilte fish I like, but others would rather do without. But I'm a latke, and I'm waiting for Hanukkah to come. I'm a latke, and I'm waiting for Hanukkah to come. Oh, it's so important that I have an understanding of what it is that I'm supposed to do. You see, there are so many who are homeless, with no jobs, no clothes, very little food. It's so important that we all remember that while we have most of all the things we need, we must remember those who have so little. We must help them. We must be the ones to feed. 'Cause we're all latkes, and we're waiting for Hanukkah to come. We're all latkes, and we're waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a latke, over here, I'm a latke, and I'm waiting for Hanukkah to come. I'm a Latka, I am a Latka, and I'm waiting for Hanukkah to come.
And
Happy Hanukkah.
we know that light is a symbol of Hanukkah. However, there is a red Toyota in the parking lot with the lights on inside the car. You may want to turn them off if you want to leave when you leave. So if you have a red Toyota, you may want to check because your lights inside the car are
It's
on.
so important if you have a red Toyota that you go out to the parking lot right now. You see, you might be sleeping here this evening because your battery will be dead. And then you will say, what now? Wow works too. There he goes. He is a Latka. He is a Latka. And he left his lights on in the car. He's a Latka. Oh, what a Latka. And he left his lights out in the car. Maybe not.
All right. I think we're almost all lit, if not all lit.
We're getting very close. Sure, I can pick one out here. Let's do. We have to. Wouldn't be Hanukkah if we didn't do another dreidel song. So, bottom of the left-hand column. Sivivon, sov, sov, sov. Hanukkah hu chag tov. Hanukkah hu chag tov. Sivivon, sov, sov, sov. Chag simcha hu la'am. Nes gadol haya sham. Chag simcha hu la'am. Nes gadol haya sham. Dreidel spin, 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 spin. Let the Hanukkah fun begin. Watch us sing, watch us play. It's a happy holiday. People come from far and near, 'cause a great miracle happened there. A great miracle happened there, so people come from far and near. Sivivon, sov, sov, sov. Hanukkah hu chag tov. Hanukkah hu chag tov. Sivivon. Sov, sov, sov. Yeah, we're gonna. Ready, Mao's tour, please. So if you turn in your Sidurim to page 365, you will find the words to Ma'oz Tzur, one of our traditional songs for Hanukkah, sung after the candle lighting. Now that we have all of these incredible Chanukiot lit, let's join together. Zur Yeshuati Lechana El Shabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Nizabeach Letachin Matbeach Mitzar HaMenabeach Azegmor B'shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach Azegmor B'shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amidst the raging foes, we're our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword. When our own strength failed us, children of the Maccabees, whether free or fettered, wake the echoes of the songs where you may be scattered. Yours the message cheering that the time is nearing, which will see all people free, tyrants disappearing, which will see all people free, tyrants disappearing.
We are now going to turn to lighting our Shabbat candles. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We take a moment to reflect on the week that has passed. Hopefully, at least part of this week has been a time of increasing light for all of you as we've been lighting our Chanukiah. We're going to turn to pages 20 and 21 in our books. And after our reflection, we'll continue with L'chad Odi. Spend a moment on each day, its blessing and its challenges. Take a breath to be present, and then we will join in L'chad Odi. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, those of you in the sanctuary, we invite you to rise and face the doors from which we entered. If you're at home, turn towards the door to your home, and we welcome the Shabbat presence into our space and into our hearts.
L'chad Odi, ligrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabala. L'chad Odi, ligrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabala. La 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 la. L'chad Odi, ligrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabala. L'chad Odi, ligrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishme'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litchila la 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 la. L'chad Odi, ligrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chad Odi, ligrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Ligrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, מראש מקדם ניסוכה סומעזה במחשבת תחילה לה 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 לקדו לי לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לקדו די לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה התעוררי כי ברך קומי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לה 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 לקדו לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לקדו לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה בואי בשלום עצרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובשורה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה la לקדו די לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לקדו די לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לקדו די לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה לקדו די לקראת קלה פני שבת לקבלה.
Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
בעלמא יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכו וביומכו ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמא ואמרו Amen.
Page 28, Baruchu, our call to prayer.
La 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 Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
Last three lines in the Hebrew, page 30.
El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'en, Baruch Atah Adonai, Amariv, Haravi.
Amen. Page 34 and 35, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
May be seated. Page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you're tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. We continue with Leman Tizkaru.
Leman Tizkaru, Va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, Vitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, Le'od lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
Page 40, Micha Mocha, our song of freedom. And of course, the tradition teaches that Micha Mocha by Elim Adonai is connected not only to the Song of the Sea, but to the story of the Maccabees, that the word Maccabee comes from the first letter of Mi Chamocha by Elim Adonai, Maccabee. Whether Maccabee was taken from Mi Chamocha or it's put back into Maccabee from the other side, only the rabbis know. But we'll play with that. So here we go, Mi Chamocha.
Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Norat Eilot, Osei Fele, Norat Tegilot, Osei Fele, Malachutecha, Ra'u Banecha, Okei Ayam, Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Kivad Adonai et Yaakov, U'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch Shemo.
God Israel.
Page 44. We give thanks for this Shabbat, especially for this Shabbat Chanukah. By the way, I was bar mitzvah on Shabbat Hanukkah a few years ago, and but we join in giving thanks for Shabbat, singing Vishamru, page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasod et ha-Shabbat ledorot haberit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasod et ha-Shabbat ledorot haberit olam. V'niu b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai, et hashamayim, ve'et ha'aretz, ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael, et hashabat, lasod et hashabat, ledorot haberit olam. U'yom hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasod et ha-Shabbat ledorot haberit olam.
We turn to our Amidah, page 46. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit. We'll sing the first few blessings together and then have some time for silent prayer. You might note that on, we'll read it, we'll add it, but there's Hanukkah insertions in our blessings as well. But we're turning to page 46.
Adonai, Sefatai Tivta, Ufi Agi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth declare your praise.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Ha'norah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot V'Imavot, Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Hozer Moshiach U'Magen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaya Kol Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Umorid Hashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Ravim, Somech Noflim Verofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar. Micha Mocha Bal Gevurot Umido Melach, Melech Memid Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atal HaChayot HaKol. Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol. Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer, the text of your own heart. You can use the words of the prayer book through page 62, 63. Page 264 and 65. Al hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hagvurot ve'al hashvot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavotenu ve'imotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. We thank you for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts brought about by you, for the wars which you waged for our ancestors in the days of old at this season. In the days of the Hasmoneans, Mattathias ben Yohanan, the high priest, and his children, when the evil government of Greece rose up against your people Israel to make them forget your Torah and to make them leave the law of your will, in your great mercy you rose up with them in their time of trouble and fought in their fight and judged their cause just. You delivered the mighty into the hands of the weak, the many into the hands of the few, the unclean into the hands of the pure, the evil into the hands of the righteous, and the arrogant in the hands of those who engage in your Torah. For you made a great and holy name to your world, and for your people Israel, you brought about the great triumph and redemption on that very day. And when your children came into the Holy of Holies and emptied your temple and purified your holy place and lit candles in your holy court and established these 8 days of Hanukkah, grateful to acknowledge and to praise your great name. So now we turn to page
We doing
brief. I got it. 266. So we're gonna. It's two things today. It's three things today. Maybe four. Maybe we can kind of look more. But it's at least three things on the Jewish calendar. It's Shabbat. It's Hanukkah, and it is Rosh Chodesh. It is a new month. And both Hanukkah and Rosh Chodesh, not Shabbat generally, but Hanukkah and Rosh Chodesh get Hallel, psalms of praise. So we're going to do a very brief Hallel, the blessing at the top of page 266, and then Psalm 118.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'halel. Middle of the page. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto ki le'olam chasto yomarna yomarna Yisrael ki le'olam chasto ki le'olam chasto yomruna yomruna ve'eda haron ki le'olam chasto ki le'olam chasto yomruna yomruna Yirei Adonai ki le'olam chasto ki le'olam chasto. Give thanks to God, for God is good. Ki le'olam chasto. Give praise to God, for God is good. Ki le'olam chasto. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto ki le'olam chasto. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai Berachnuchem mi-beit Adonai Eli atah ve'odeka Elohai arom emeka Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto.
So our Hanukkah traditions in the United States tend to be dominated by Ashkenazi Hanukkah traditions because our Jewish community in the United States tends to be dominated by Ashkenazi Jews, but we are always trying to find opportunities to celebrate the breadth of the Jewish people, different foods, different melodies, different cultures. And this has become a favorite. Comes from Ladino. It's on the bottom of your the first column, bottom of your song sheet, Ocho Candelicas.
So we must at least get together on one thing, and that is the syllable O. So let's try that together. Oh, I'm going to be quiet now. I want to hear you do it. Oh. Everybody out there in Cyber Shul, give me an oh. Now count with me in Ladino, okay? Una candelicas, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Ocho candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Ocho candelas para mí. Here's another chance to do it. Oh, shout it out now. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas vou fazer. Gonna go to a lot of parties. Con alegría sin placer. Happiness and pleasure. Fiestas vou fazer. Con alegría sin placer. Oh. Una candelicas, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Oh. My favorite. Your favorite? Anybody else's favorite?
Whenever it comes to food, it's his favorite.
It's my
It's just the
favorite.
way it works out.
Can't help myself. Los pastelicos vou comer con lots of pastries. Con almendricas y la miel, made of almonds and honey. Los pastelicos vou comer con almendricas y la miel. And after I eat about a box of those, I will say, Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí.
So I'm surrounded by light. There's light of the Shabbat candles and of the Hanukkah candles. Some have burnt out already, but there's still a lot of light here. There's an eternal light here above my head, the light coming out of the ark, which is actually more pronounced right now because the other lights aren't turned on, so you can kind of see the light coming out of the ark. And as we are in this festival of Hanukkah, our festival of lights, I want to talk a little bit about light because it is the dominant image of this holiday. It was because I was looking at your shirt over there, Vicki, and so I wanted to say holiday. It was the holiday. Here we go. So we're told that light can be used to describe our soul. It says actually on the wall over there above that little menorah on the wall there, in Hebrew, what it says is, the lamp of God is the soul of the human being. That's what it says there. So we're told that God's light shines through our soul into the world. Rabbi Shneur Zalman compares the soul to a flickering flame. The nature of the flame is to draw upward. And likewise for our soul, by its very nature, its essence yearns to draw nearer to the source, to the Creator. Light is also used as a metaphor for Torah in our Holy Ark. For the candle is a commandment and the Torah is the light, says Proverbs. And the Zohar explains, a little light dispels much darkness. If you strike a match in a dark room, all the recesses of the room, from all the recesses of the room, the light can be seen. And from that match, an infinite amount of light may be created. Right? We lit one shamash here, and while we did other things, we could have lit all the other candles, lit all the other shamash, and then all the other candles from that one light, from that one match, from that one wick. We can light many others. And through the fulfillment and then the Zohar teaches correspondingly that through the fulfillment of even the simplest mitzvah, we can create more light, right? Bring more light into the world through and into our lives. And others compare the light of our Torah and the light of the Ner Tamid to the mitzvah of tzedakah, because just as one wick can light many others without diminishing its own light, that when we can give tzedakah without diminishing ourselves. Some of you know, and some of you have heard me tell some of this story before, but some of you know that the great American author Eudora Welty. You may not know, she's considered by many to be one of America's great writers, but also was an amateur photographer who took thousands of photographs for the WPA in rural Mississippi in the 1930s, some of which were later published in a book. This is a quote from one of the photos in the book, the description. It's a snapshot she took of a 10-year-old African-American boy running at dusk in a distant silhouette across the horizon of a hill. In his hand was a long set of tongs holding a glowing ember of coal, which he carried high in the air like an Olympic torch. It was a gray winter's day, and the boy was taking the ember back to light the coal in his parents' shack, and then to bring warmth to the other families nearby as the cold darkness of the evening descended. It's a perfect metaphor for Hanukkah. We try to keep the fire aglow in our homes with a Jewish spirit that gives us strength and memories and, of course, warmth. The image of the young boy running across the horizon, holding his coal aloft like a torch and bringing the light and the warmth to others, is an inspiring one for me. Because as a rabbi and as a Jew, I see a part of my mission, the challenge before me, as finding within myself and others the sparks of that Jewish soul, which through Jewish learning and acts of loving kindness and prayer and celebration and community can bring light and warmth into our lives and into the lives of those we touch. Right, there's the argument in the Talmud between Hillel and Shammai. Do we start with 8 and go to 1, or do we start with 1 and go to 8? And the answer, of course, is what we do. By the way, both of these are only for in their day, only for those who really want to go beyond. Right? You only have to light one lamp, technically. But oil was expensive back then. Now we all go all out, right? You have that. But Hillel says, Ma'alin Bakodesh. We should always go up in holiness. Right? We should always bring more light into the world. And so that's our mission, to think of ourselves like that boy carrying that coal aloft, kindling the fires not only in his home, but bringing it to his neighbors and his friends to bring the light and the warmth that he could to their homes as well. Let that be our mission, not just now during Hanukkah, but throughout the year. Chag Urim Sameach, happy festival of lights, and Shabbat Shalom. We are going to turn now to page 253 as our thoughts turn to all of those in our community, in our lives, who are in need of healing. Healing of body, healing of mind, healing of spirit. Those of you at home, feel free to share with others who are joining us virtually names of those you're thinking about in our chat.
O Holy One, blessed our mothers, blessed our fathers from ancient days. Bless and heal those in our hearts. Hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch Yimaleh Rachamim Aleihem Lehachzikan Ulrape Otam Veishlach Lahem Refuah Shlema Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Paula Steinbach, Rosin Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Kathy Brewster, Jennifer Rudin, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Brad Holland, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Marilyn Freeman, Robert Strober, Marilyn Lubarsky, Joe Kummerman, Ellery Einstein, Ken Mitchell, Patricia Kramer, Lavini Feldman, James Cecile, Esther Bespris, Joan Morse, Nomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, Simon Saul, Blair Pollock, Myra White, David Grossman, Daniel Brewster, Lori Snyder, Jeremy Knoller, Charity Razaday, Mike Klein, Lily Morrison, Reed Gratz, Sarah Coachman, Marissa Steinberger, and
HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Imalei Rachamim Aleichem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
If there are December birthdays here, I'm not going to call people up. It's a little crowded, this part, but you can stand or put your hand up if it's difficult for you to stand. But stand up if you have a December birthday. Okay. And Adele. Anybody else? Okay, a few more. Here we go. We've got some birthdays. Any in the back? Did all the birthdays sit in the front section today? Yeah? All right. We're going to sing a happy birthday to you, and then I'll bring you your birthday gift. So here we go.
Yom Huledet Sameach, 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 Yom Huledet Sameach. One more time. Yom Huledet Sameach. That's right. Come back next year. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
If I missed anybody and you want your pencil afterward, you can come find me and your chocolate. We turn to page 261. I'm going to read the English in the middle of the page, and then we'll announce the month at the bottom of the page, so as we have done. Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good.
Rosh Chodesh Tevet, Hu Hayom.
The new month of Tevet begins today. Today.
Chodesh Tov, everybody.
Chodesh Tov. All right. I'm going to invite Laura Zuckerman to come forward and share some announcements with all of you. Wind your way through wherever, yeah, that's a good way to go. I have. We have here, so. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. I hope the rest of you are feeling as inspired and lifted as I am, both online and here in our sanctuary. It is just so wonderful to be here together. And thank you to our wonderful clergy, Rabbi Kupitz and Cantor Bush, for a wonderful service, and for our wonderful Randy Polivoy for your great piano playing. As you know, you can find about anything you want to know about upcoming events on our Thursday update and your December Gehila. But I would like to highlight a few things coming up very quickly. First, for either prospective members of our Brotherhood or longtime members of Brotherhood, some of whom I see right here, and I know some of you are online. For the first time since winter of 2020, the Brotherhood is going to be meeting in person and also online, our first hybrid Brotherhood meeting. So if you want to join the Brotherhood, they'll be at the social hall on Sunday morning at 9:30 for bagels and for a presentation about being Cantor Bush by Cantor Bush. Oh, so you'll have to wait for another Brotherhood.
I believe that the presentation is of the flora and fauna, the unique flora and fauna of our general area.
Wow, okay. California flora and fauna. So it's hard to compete with Cantor Bush, but that could do it. There we go. All right. So in the same vein, moving a little further into December, on Sunday, December 12th at 1 o'clock, our wonderful WTBI, Women of TBI, are gathering for an informal lunch at 1 o'clock to break bagels at the 42nd Street Bagel for schmoozing and just being together. If you're a member of WTBI, of course, we'd love to see you, but if you're not a member and you want to support WTBI and meet these fabulous women, please come December 12th, 1 o'clock. Now, finally, a few hours later, here is the 14th annual Federation Festival of Jewish Music, with both children's concert and our wonderful Kol Ha'emek group, and our wonderful, this is a little repetition, but our wonderful singing cantors from the area. So you can register, find the info in the Kahila or on the update, and please join us for a truly wonderful reason to be together and celebrate our wonderful Jewish music. So with that, Shabbat Shalom, and have a very happy remainder of the Hanukkah season. Oh, I'm sorry. One more Toda Rabbah. As you know, when you walked in, you were greeted, and at the end, we will have a sort of mini oneg. And so I want to thank our greeters and our oneg helpers. And I'm going to read their names because they are loyal and do this almost every Friday night. Not the Sufganiyot, but the challah. So we have thank you to Vicki Hollander, Phyllis Blackie, Sharon Sachs Regalado, Sarah Truitt, Lori Borer, and of course our own brownie lady Debbie Harris, and led by and motivated by the inimitable Judy Rose, Chair of Membership. So now, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
On
Go ahead, Remy.
On January 8th, we have a special event taking place here. Cantor Paul, why don't you tell us about that?
Well, thank you, Rabbi. I'm very excited to share with you, if you haven't seen it in our online information or anywhere else around town, that TBI will have the honor, the privilege, and the thrill of hosting one of the first concerts to take place in our general area when we welcome the wonderful group Nefesh Mountain to our TBI space right here on Saturday evening, January the 8th. That's right, we got a Saturday evening with Nefesh Mountain. Because of our concern and our care of everyone who will attend that particular performance, we want to make sure that those who are interested have a space and a place without being too crowded. So we have limited seating, but we have enough space in this room, I think, to have quite a few of you with us. We've done tremendously well so far, especially for those who want what we're calling preferred or premium seating. which is a little bit closer, or as close as we can get. But I think every seat in the house is going to be a great seat. We'll have some video monitors and things that will be set up so that everybody gets a chance to be up close and personal. And if you are interested, please, please, please go early to the Eventbrite site that we've set up, Nefesh Mountain TBI22.eventbrite.com, and register for your seats. It just opened to the general community within the last day or two. Because of the talent in the band and the genre of music that they play, which is kind of Americana, country, bluegrass, there's a lot of fans in the LA area, and we are the only LA appearance in a year and a half for Nefesh Mountain. They'll be in the San Diego area a couple of nights before, but we're the only stop on their West Coast swing in the LA area. So please, hope to see you here, and I'm sure that Eric and Donnie and the rest of the band are just as excited to see you as we will be to see them. So thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, and we have, for publicity partners in this, the Jewish Federation is a publicity partner in this, as is the Claremont Folk Music Center. So they're going to be going out to those mailing lists. So if you want to get your preferred TBI thing, get it in now. And we're going to move toward the conclusion of our service. 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach. We rise in body or in spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latei gedola leotzer reishi, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. Page 294. We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. We remember, first, I guess, an announcement. It's not on here. What's her aunt's name? It didn't get added to the conversation. You know what it is? So the aunt of Chris Gacci passed away, and almost 100 years old, and name will be added to our regular list once burial takes place. We remember the recent death of Sandra Wager, mother of Rhonda Gilman. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Margaret Brock, Jack Dichter, Ellen Forrester, Frank Mann, Rose Rosen, Nathan Schwartz, David Silverstein, Robert Wasserman, David Kay, Bernice Osina, Leo Saffin, Paul Brin, Jacob Castleman, Zenaida Crespo, Sally Goldfarb, Sylvia Kaufman, Karen Mendelson, Molly Paritsky, Meyer Sloat, Israel Swerdloff, Janet Brooks, Joseph Goldman, Leon Miller, Max Pasternak, Sophia Perlman, Henry Ranich, Mark Rhodes, Lillian Sachs, Gene Shapiro, William Stahl, Sandra Tuckerman, Ethel Weiner, Albert Zipser, Alice Brenzel, Gary Brown, Rosella Eisman, Albert Kahn, Roberta Sachs Allen, Maxine Toback, Betty Tuckman, Manuel Blumenfeld, George Carter, Paul Carman, Shirley Esther Karnofsky, Evelyn Schwartz, Sylvia Schwartz, Yale Belenkoff, Ronald Brewert, Morton W. Feynman, Manny Goldfarb, Jane Goodman O'Doul, Harry E. Horwitz, Harold Schwartz, Karen Royce, Jenny G. Stone, Elliot David Wine, and we also recently, Sharon Stein's mother, Ruth Bornstein, passed away. Bergall Bronner. If you're in a time of mourning or observing your site on the Shabbat, I invite you to rise. And I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise and embrace in support of those who mourn. Kaddish is on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Israel ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata dami rambi alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be for a blessing. And we're going to conclude either on your sheet or on
Backside left column.
backside left column, or if you don't have a sheet, page 367 in your book.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children. Give thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. And light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. light one candle to bring us together with peace as a song in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep it alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not cried in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let it for years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
Happy Hanukkah, Shabbat Shalom. Stay
Chodesh
right where
Tov.
you are. Chodesh Tov, good new month. Don't go anywhere. We're going to make Kiddush and Motzi. And then for those of you here, we're going to move back into the social hall for a little Hanukkah snack and oneg.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat
Chaim. Join in Hamotzi, and then another reminder, just for those of you who brought Chanukiot, don't forget to take them with you. We have quite a collection from over the years that get left here, so we encourage you to take it home. There's still a couple more nights of Hanukkah to celebrate, so here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom Chagurim Sameach Chodesh Tov.
Lots of good things. So to those of you out on Facebook and YouTube, thank you for being with us. We hope to see you all soon. For those of you who are here, there's both challah and donuts in the back, and join us in the social hall.
And a big thank you to our video master, Claudia Gonzalez, Toda Rabbah, and we'll see you all soon. Tomorrow night, Havdalah, 6:45. Is it midnight yet?